So when it comes to what you are leaving behind, I think what I'm leaving behind in 2025 is overworking, y'all. Okay, I think that needs to be left behind, but also, I saw this quote that says, create like a child and edit like a scientist. I think it was actually Tyler, the creator, that said it. Create like a child, edit like a scientist. And a lot of times, I have known for myself to already be editing while I'm creating, and it's like, bro, you're taking the fun out of it. You're missing the point. Or, bro, you're being too hard on yourself. Okay? I think what I'm leaving behind the most is this doubt thing. It would always be there. I think doubt is healthy in a certain dose. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because if you have enough doubt, there's something interesting that happens. When you do have doubt that shows up, your advocate also shows up. Okay, and what I mean by that is when you have doubt about something like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this, what part of you shows up? How do they defend it? You'll also figure out what's important to you. This is why I actually appreciate doubt for what it is, because a lot of times it forces me to realize what's actually going on. Oh, you're doubting yourself? Why? How does it make sense? Okay. And I lean into the curiosity, right? Be more of a curious person than a harsh critic, and you will go far. The reason why is because you're leaving room for other things to exist, not necessarily stay, but exist. And sometimes when we try to resist so much of what is taking place or the dialogue that's happening, it creates a buildup, right? It creates a buildup until it just kind of overflows. So what I'm really leaving behind this year truly is this idea that, hey, this can't happen. Okay? Because it can, and it will. It just requires me to be present. Okay? Everything up until this point has been me creating out of thin air. And I mean that. No blueprint. Okay? So it was doing the creation and the editing at the same time, but there was a trust there too. Okay? Knowing that, hey, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to be cool. And if you can trust that enough, there's so much that will come to pass. There's so many people. Okay? Also leaving behind this idea of doing it all on your own. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you will have to be the pioneer for. You have to give other people something to get behind. Versus expecting everybody else to do it for you. No, you have to get behind it, okay? You have to start it. All right? Overworking is definitely something I'm leaving behind in all spaces, because what does it do? But make me tired. Okay? Self-doubt is a very harmful thing when it is not checked by your truth. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of things I plan to leave behind. And the goal is to not get rid of myself. The goal is to get rid of these things, these dialogues, okay, these cracks that don't make sense. All right. I think too often we try to go into the new year this whole different person. And for me, it's like, I'm not looking to get rid of me. He's dope. I enjoy this dude. Okay. And there's still so much I'm learning about who he is. Why the hell would I get rid of him? And who would I be without him? Sometimes I like to think about little Isaiah and this idea. Would I say to him, hey, bro, I'm getting rid of you. Yeah, you got me up until this point, but you don't matter anymore. I'm gonna find somebody else to be. Or I want to be like Joe Schmo, or I want to be like them. I don't want to be like you. And if I really took a moment to embrace the brilliance that little Isaiah is or was, okay, and how because of him we can have this conversation, then I truly understand it would be such a disservice and a tragedy to dismiss that little dude. Okay? And I say that to you guys so honestly because I want you to really start looking at yourself in that same way. Who are you trying to get rid of and who are you trying to become? And if you were talking to your little self and you looked them dead in the eye and you say, yeah, you're not that cool, right? You're not that dope. We need to be somebody else. But you're still expecting your little you to do that work and to keep you alive all this time? What I'm going to leave behind the most is make sure I don't leave myself behind. Okay? And leaving yourself behind can look like a lot of things. Self-betrayal, okay? Self-abandonment, showing up in relationships that you don't belong in, not allowing other people to try and show up for you, okay? Doing the work to keep things in rotation that's not your work at all. That is so worth leaving behind, y'all. And if you doubt yourself, well, look at what you've accomplished so far. It doesn't make sense. I challenge you and I encourage you to leave everything behind that isn't yours, but just make sure you don't leave yourself behind. For what? For who? I always say it's like for what? For who? You know, everywhere I go, I know that little homie, he's with me. And low key, he deserves to see everything that he's created. And I'll always give him credit. See, sometimes we give people, the wrong people, credit, you know. We give the wrong people credit. Sometimes we are giving people credit who have not shown up for us, right? Oh, my drive is so hard because I got to prove to these other people what I'm capable of. They were not supporting you, so why do they deserve to take credit for what you're doing now? Why do they get the congratulations and accolades? What about the little person that kept getting older and showed up every day? That was actually putting in that work. What about them? Too often we give the wrong people credit. And we think that is doing something to them to see that we are doing well. It might. But what has it done to your heart to use them as the fuel? Because at some point in time, why does it matter? Give credit where credit is due. And if you leave anything behind in this year, just make sure it's not you. Okay? Make sure that everywhere you go, you bring you with you. Because if you have been working hard, you've been willing to show up, you don't leave them in a car. Okay? They've been the driving force up until this point. So yeah, what I leave behind the most this year is making sure I don't leave me behind. That's the T. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.